It's the Daily Dog.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Daily Doug. We got another week of new episodes coming up. It's a big week. I've got a lot of great songs coming up. But first, we're making it another Iron Maiden Monday, y'all. So thanks to all the Iron Maiden fans for continuing to be interested in the channel and the breakdowns of your favorite Iron Maiden songs. A bunch of y'all have asked that I take a look at Phantom of the Opera by Iron Maiden. So there's a reason why I have not yet done Phantom of the Opera, and it's an ignorant one, because I thought that, well, why would I listen to Iron Maiden doing Andrew Lloyd Webber? Why would I do that? Not knowing that, Iron Maiden's Phantom of the Opera is in no way connected with the musical of the same name. So once I figured that one out, it was just a matter of getting it in the rotation. And this is the week, and this is the day. So when I put on my channel yesterday that I was going to be doing this song, I asked some of the faithful on YouTube, which version do I do? Because this is an interesting song. It's off their original, or I should say debut studio album of the same name. Iron Maiden was released on April 14th, 1980. So it's been a while. And the lead singer back then was a different person than Bruce Dickinson. So apparently it's Paul Di'Anno. I have not heard Paul singing yet, and he was the singer in the band for this particular album. Like many of the other songs by Iron Maiden that I've done, this one has writing credit to, I think, Steve Harris. And it's funny, on the on the little post that I made on YouTube about this, where I said it was coming up today, one commenter said, spoiler alert, it's in E minor. So I'm like, darn it. So there's one less thing that I had to figure out. So let's all listen to Iron Maiden play in E minor again, shall we? It's going to be fun. Iron Maiden doing Phantom of the Opera. This is going to be the studio recording, and this is from their original, or I should say the Iron Maiden official YouTube channel. I am listening to their 2015 remastered version of this song. Here we go. Let's do it. Interesting. Guitars and bass playing the same lick. Cool. All right. Iron Maiden. Let's gallop. In A minor. Oh, cool. I've got the lyrics up here too, so I can follow along. Subtonic. He's ending up on a B over that E minor chorus. I like that lick. It sounds just like he's arpeggiating an E minor 7th chord, and then just going right back up the scale up to the B. It's a nice little melody over this chord. I'm looking at the cover art. I've taught so many 8 a.m. classes. Those look like some of my college students for 8 a.m. music theory classes. slightly different tempo. I like the difference of picking arpeggios and power chord. Pretty cool. Keep your distance, walk away, don't take his bait. Stay away from the Phantom of the Opera. Huh. I don't think I've ever heard like backing vocals, harmonic vocals from Iron Maiden before. Who's doing the backup singing? Is that just Paul doing overdubs, or are other folks singing with the band? Cool. Ooh. Raising my eyebrows because they were all bending that last pitch, and they arrived at the actual pitch at different times. It's like, whoa, that's my choral director. Tune that chord, please. That's not the bass. Cool. Arpeggios. Beat it up, beat it up, beat it up, beat it up. Just straight power chords. E, down to D major, down to C, back up to D, back up to E. Spoiler alert, 1, flat 7, flat 6, back to flat 7 to 1. But I really like the cleanness and the sound of the arpeggios over it. It's kind of nice. E minor, up to G, up to A, C, D, maybe not quite not. Oh. All these little sections that are different tempos and have different feels to them. I wonder if this was a modular piece for them, where they said, we have this cool sound, let's just stick it in here. And we have this cool section, let's just stick it in there. And just go from one to the other. Because there's no real apparent transition, it's just one to the other. Same progression. There's the up to G, A, C, D, E. I like the recording. Everything's really clean. I can hear everything really nicely. It makes me remember that I don't think I've listened to a ton of Iron Maiden's original recordings. Most of it has been live recordings. So maybe we need to go back and give some of their studio recordings a good listen through. So it's back to a similar section they had before. Those fast triplets. Yeah. Running and hiding in my dreams, you're always there. I like like the extra vocals. That's cool. Is that the song? Okay. I guess they ran out of... Whoa. Did y'all know that was going to happen? Are you laughing at me now? What was that? What? You gotta listen to the ending again. This gave me a heart attack about. I was about to say, they stopped completely. Silence. And then, there's like 10 seconds left in the song. And then... So is that the Phantom taunting us from back at his lair? That's an interesting way to end a song, you guys. I was going to make a pithy comment about, well, they must have ran out of time at the studio and just cut it off. It's like, that's it for today, guys. I actually remember, this is a way non sequitur. I'll get back to Iron Maiden. This is short. I remember being on stage as a member of the Westminster Choir College Symphonic Choir. We were doing a big show with the New York Philharmonic in New York City. And it was a rehearsal, and the musicians are all union. And they have there's a clock, like on the stage, an official clock, and a union representative just hanging out and just making sure that all the musicians are treated according to the agreement of the day. And we were in the middle of a movement when the clock struck, 1 o'clock, when it was time to finish that day. And the conductor was still going along, and we're still singing, and the musicians just one by one stopped playing. Like, yep, it's time now to go. And like literally 15, 20 seconds later, the conductor's like, okay, we'll see you guys later. And because their time is done, clock, and out of there. So that was fun. It's like the music just stops, and my mind went to, they must have ran out of the time that they paid for the studio. That's an interesting way to end a song. It was unexpected, quite frankly, that it ended there. But how else are you going to end a song that's that modular? This is a really cool song. I'm glad I listened to it. It gives me a sense. One, I haven't heard Paul before. Bruce's voice reminds me, his vibrato reminds me a bit of Paul's, but Bruce has a much higher range, it sounds like, than Paul does, at least for this song, from what I've heard Bruce doing in other Iron Maiden songs. But, it's interesting to note when I went to this, I was like 3 years old when this came out. I am a child of the late 70s and was like in elementary school during the 80s. And I remember a bunch of you guys remember this, I'm sure, the Satanic Panic of the 80s, Twisted Sister and all of the pushback from the leading people in culture and society, going that this music is not supposed to be listened to, right? And I think they get a look at the album cover, and they're like, ooh, these people are bad people. Don't listen to their music, and so I think it just got an immediate sort of taboo related thing, when there is nothing taboo about Iron Maiden. Come on now. But I wonder if how much of that, y'all, am I way off the mark here? Let me know, because I was really young when that happened, but I have some recollection of that time period. What was it like to try to be an Iron Maiden fan in the late 70s and the early 80s against all of the societal pushback? Was it taboo to listen to, or was it sort of a mainstream thing? I'm curious about it, because it's always fascinating to me, the political atmosphere around music that maybe goes off in a different direction than the rest of society, or the whole of society is not maybe ready for. But I'd be curious to see what your thoughts are on this. I really like the song. I like the guitar solos. I like the different tempos that they put in through there. and Paul's voice was fine. I don't really know the circumstances of why he was on this original album and then left the band or was fired. I'm not sure. So I'm sure y'all will fill me in on that. But we're off to a good start. It's a Maiden Monday, and we've been listening to the Phantom of the Opera, and that was quite fun. So thanks, everybody, and we will see you again later on for another edition of the Daily Doug.